My lecture was about the relationship between platforms and their complementors. So when we think about platforms, the typical preconception is that you have one all-powerful platform like Google, like Apple, and so on. And you have complementors that don't really have a lot of bargaining power or a lot of power over the way that the platform acts. What I did in my lecture was basically try and work with that preconceived notion and try to find some examples of where this is maybe not the case. So for example, you have situations on Upwork, which is an online labor market, where you have agencies, and these agencies now take on a lot more power and a lot more functions of what previously was the remit of the online labor market itself. You have situations in which some complementors become so powerful that them leaving the platform would be a disaster for the platform itself. So think of the case where Taylor Swift took all her music, all her content from Spotify to negotiate better terms for artists all over to get higher royalties from Spotify. And so this was a case where the bargaining power of a very strong complementer was used to try and change the terms that platforms were giving their complementors. And I think this is both interesting from a practical point of view, because of course practically the more cases like this we see, the more we have to think about how you can put yourself in a position like that as a complementer and how platforms are going to react. At the same time, from a methodological point of view, it's really interesting because previously you could imagine a situation where the only entity setting the rules was the platform. And so the platform did something and complementors would react to it. Now, with more powerful complementors, there's more of a bargaining process. And so now we have an offer maybe being made by the platform, and we have a complementer that responds with a counteroffer or with some sort of bargaining process or entering a bargaining process. And I think that's really quite an interesting methodological innovation or methodological direction that we need to take when we do study platforms.